Hello, and welcome back to Cal's Micro Company. My name is Cal Sinez, and I'll be your instructor today for TinkerCAD. So, today, from the previous videos, oh yeah, right, I saved this before too as well. I saved these videos from the previous ones to actually like continue on with the next one. So I'm going to new work plane to video 4. So right now today, we're going to show you like how to add in your components onto the work plane, and after that, let's go learn another component too as well. So, new tools again on your mouse or on your keyboard. If you have a left and right button, all you do is hold down your left, highlight the entire area till it turns the red light or red lines. Let go of it, and it will select everything else. And what you do is you gotta trash all of it. There's a trash symbol out here. Delete them, and that's it. We're gonna clear out the work plane. That's it. So again, I'm gonna go undo it. No, it didn't undo. Well, it's okay. Usually that should work. Oh well. Okay then. So today, like right now, let's go add in our first part. So let's go create our first house. We're gonna make 2 of them. So I'm gonna create my first box. It's gonna be over here. So I'm gonna click onto that one, drag on the work plane, and after that I'm gonna leave it as is at 20 by 20. Now our roof, we're gonna add in our roof. I'm gonna add this onto here. There we go. But you notice that this cannot be added onto this cube right here because it's at the down floor level. So what I'm going to do is go in front. There we go. I'm going to zoom in. There we go. And after that, this icon right now, we notice that we looked at this right here as a orthographic view. So think of it as your eyes that you're seeing everything else. Or as an example, if you're in art class, that you have one single point that's on you, but when you look at when you draw your design, it's kind of like you're making a horizon out there. Or if you're looking outside too as well, you're standing there, and if you're looking at the horizon, that's your orthographic view. You're looking at everything else but in your own different view. We don't have everything else as like straight flat word or like into a straight word view. But with this one on the computer, you can do that ability to actually make everything else as flat, like a piece of paper. If you're trying to draw it onto paper, if you're trying to draw on a house, you just have a flat 2D dimensional. But in reality, if you have an orthographic view or a 3D view, you see everything else as is in a 3D dimensional area. But right now, let's click onto this one from the orthographic. Now let's go change it to flat view. So now we have it on the flat view right here. It'll be flat. So now we're going to do our measurements. So we're going to click onto here. Next one we're going to do is click our height. Let's see here. Our height is going to be at 20 millimeters. So this guy, we need to increase this one upward. So we're going to click on the roof. See this down arrow down below? Hold it, and then drag it up to 20. You can let go of it, and then there's this icon. It'll hold on to it. Do not double click it. I know people are asking me that once they do use their mouse, they double click it and didn't return it back. As I repeat before, click it once, that's it, because these commands are very sensitive. If you double click it too much, your force of habit is the one that kicks in, because you're used to the computer oftentimes, because you're using it outside your computer area. Right now we're on TinkerCAD. We click everything else once, that's it. So just give everybody else a clarification on that. Do not double click it, just click it once and that's it. So I'm going to click it once right here on this little triangle pyramid. So I'm going to bring it down here to activate the dimension. Click it once right here on the number, on this number. I'm going to type in 20, enter, and there we go. That's our height. Okay. Okay. Now what we're going to do is like maneuver this guy on top of it, and that's it. As perfect as possible. There we go. Now we made our house. Now then, what happens if I want to do a little more? Well, actually, we'll do that on next time, later on in the future. Okay, we're just gonna break it down little by little at a time. Okay, now let's go on to another one. Let's go add in another house again, but this time with a rounded roof. Click on this roof. So again, click onto it. On this work plane, we notice that it's gonna be on ground level. Go on front view. There we go. And after that, I'm gonna zoom in onto here. We notice that our height is gonna be at 20. So again, we click on this cube, and it'll give us our height. Then we click on this cylinder, click on this arrow, hold it down, drag it up until we get this dimensions. Click it, and we're going to type in 20. There we go. Then we maneuver this guy on our left onto as much as we close if we can eyeball it. We notice that the back one's not working okay. Oh, yeah, that's right. And if you're trying to orbit around without no mouse, you can actually use this one, just this cube area. You just click on the corners, maneuver it, and now we can actually maneuver it around. There we go. Then we move it backwards just a little bit, just a eye view, and that's it. Now we made our house. 2 of them. One's a warehouse and one's a regular house. Okay. Now then, what if I want to make a garage? So if I was going to make a garage, I'm going to click on this guy right here. Put it right here. I'm just going to make it like a regular shed. I'm going to make a wedge here. Bring it right there. I'm going to maneuver it onto this corner. Okay, we need to maneuver the height. You have to do like front view every once in a while. You can actually maneuver on this orbit right here, and then you can actually use this. If you know, if you eyeball it right away on the height, you'd be okay. Double click right here. We know it's at 20 millimeters. Enter, and you're good to go. Okay, now we move this guy over here. Eyeball it, and then try to maneuver onto it as much as I can. My mouse, is very sensitive on this this CAD, so it's kind of like shaking around every once in a while. I want to change my height to like a steep, or not steep, but kind of like an incline a little more. I would say 5, like a regular shed house. Okay, there we go. Now then, now I want to add in a shed, like a hole right here, or like a stand bar. So what I'm going to do is these 2 are now good listens. So right now, these shapes will have the same thing too as well once I click onto it. Well, actually, no. These shapes should have the same thing again. Like for example, the pyramid. Once I click onto that one, there's a hole shape. There's this round roof, hole again, cube, hole, and everything else has to be holes. The reason why it says hole because they actually have a cutting hole where you can actually cut it in. So if I was eating a watermelon and I want to try to cut it out, you make a wedge hole. So you're making like a wedge onto a watermelon shape. Or if you're cutting a cantaloupe, you notice it's kind of like a sphere, but if you want to cut into a wedge, you can actually make a wedge shape into it, which I'll show you now in the next one right now to show you why. So to make a shed inside of it, I'm going to click this shape right here, this box. I'm going to bring it out here. I'm going to go, actually, I have to go to the front view, but let me go to the, on the edges. There we go. And I'm going to zoom into the shape because it's a little bit confusing. Zoom out. There we go. So my shape is going to be 20 on the regular solid shape square. It's going to be 20 by 20 by 20. We want to make a hole inside of it, but without deleting the whole thing. If I was going to delete the whole thing, if I was going to do like this, like that, and then if I combine both of them, so if I was going to do like, let's see, let's go combine them together. If you want to combine them together, all you do is like highlight the entire piece together, and then over here there's going to be a new tool. It'll say group. Click it, and it'll group it right away. But see what happens right here. So it selects the entire thing or the entire shapes, so that way it'll imitate the shape as it is, but it'll hold the entire groups right away. But look what happens in the front. Your solid cube is gone. So I'm going to undo it again, and bring it out here. So the reason why we had to do this is because we had to like reshape your cutting hole down to a bit. So any type of shapes you're going to do, you have to shrink it down to actually make the hole that you want into it. I'll show you another trick on another video. I'll show you how you make your own hand tool. So that's another thing. So for this shape, when you click on these corners right here, we're going to reduce it down to 5. So I'm going to do about 15 by 15. Including the height, we're going to reduce it down to 15. There we go. And I'm going to drag this guy in the front area, but closely in the middle as possible. And make sure this guy's flat on the surface right away. And close enough as it should be. Just eyeball it. There we go. I'm gonna go on the zoom right here. Whoops. I'm gonna go at this selected area. Zoom. There we go. I'm gonna eyeball this guy again. Oh, yeah, it's right. The snap grid. It's already snapped onto it, so I can't maneuver it in the center, but it should be okay. So once you got that one, I'm gonna highlight the entire thing, group it, and see what happens. There you go. Now all the color is gonna be in one solid piece because all of it's already been added into it. So your wedge has become a solid piece with the square, and the whole square is gonna be solid with the shape with it. But now it made a hole onto the shed that we wanted. There we go. And now you have a cutout square inside the shape. So now we made a shed or a garage. Okay. Now then, let's go to the next one. So the next one, I was saying that if you want to do a cucumber wedge onto it, so let's go bring this sphere. So let's go make this as a cantaloupe. There we go. If I was gonna make a shape, I would say just make your own shape if you want to. I make my own cantaloupe. I don't know what cantaloupe looks like. All spheres are the same with me as long as I make my own fruit. So I'm gonna zoom out, zoom onto here. Now then, our shape is this way. Besides this way right here, you're just cutting in half the fruit. So I'm gonna go to my right. There we go. I'm gonna make my wedge here. I'm gonna bring it out. There we go. And I'm gonna bring this wedge to a skinnier hole. So I'm gonna bring this inward. Actually, I'm gonna go zoom it out. Or there you go. Change different dimensions. I'm gonna go change the shape to a skinnier narrow. I would say 5, and I'm gonna bring it downward to about maybe 12. And then I'm gonna rotate this guy upside down. So I'm gonna rotate it to 180. Or what you can do is you can type it in, so you can actually type. I'm gonna undo it again. So I'm gonna click on this rotation. I'm gonna type in the number to 180. Enter. Voila. Now then, on the shape, you notice that we can't make a cutting hole onto this wedge. Alright, so let's go start making our height first. I'm going to bring it up to the height just above the sphere. That's right. That should be okay right there. As long as this is like perfectly centered on the cantaloupe. So, but now you notice that this one right here. So as I explained before, this one, if you have a solid pieces, it will become a solid piece. But if you try and cut a hole onto it, it's not gonna be like this right here. It's gonna be like a solid piece right away. But you can actually make holes off of your shapes. So this one has a hole feature. All of these ones should have it. Click on that hole, and there we go. It made your shape hole. Now what we can do is maneuver this guy in the middle. We know this is kind of a little bit small, so I'm gonna bring this guy outward a little more. Probably about make it 40. I'm going to drag it into here. I'm going to go to my right view. There we go. Oh, there we go. Right in the dot. We made a perfect circle. And after that, what I'm going to do is select the whole thing. Now we have the sphere and the wedge. We're going to group it. There we go. Now we have a cut slit or a cutout cantaloupe. There we go. And if you want to make the inside hollow too as well, we'll show you that one next time on the video. Okay, that is all of it. Hope you guys enjoyed this one. Make your own house. Now you can actually have fun with it. Mess around with it. Play around with the areas. You know what to do next. You can actually mess around with these other shapes too as well. You can actually like make your own shapes too. Mess around with it. Oh yes, right. I forgot there's 2 more of these ones right here. So we got these stars right here. I forgot that was someone was clarifying me that right away, that you forgot these other shapes too, these other 3 ones. So I'm sorry about that. So same thing again. You have the solid and the hole. That's okay. The point. Let's go zoom on to here. The points is the outer edges of how many points you want. So we have 5 points. But if you want to add more points, you can actually make a different type of stars you want, or into a different shape that you want to create. And it's limited depending on how much you have. So I'm gonna do 9. The radius, it depends on how much radius you want to add into it. So we have 20, but we can actually bring out the radius of the size. The inner radius from the inside, it depends on how much you want into it. So it brings out a little more. It's kind of like almost like a roundish star, or you can bring it in like a sharp inward star. Okay, we got that one. Home. Now onto the star. It should be the same thing as its own shape. Yeah, there you go. It has its own shape right away, so you don't have to do anything about it. Just the height and length. Then you have the cube, or okasa, icosahedron. I think that's how you say it. This one doesn't have no um, any length or height. Well, it does have length and height. You got to change it, but there's no other features. That's it. It's just a hole and a solid. Okay, and that's it. All right then. Next video we will continue on with the another lessons how you actually use these tools again. Next one we're gonna do is make your own tool, which is the hand tool right away. I'll show you how to make a wrench. Okay, I think that's all of it. Have a good day, everybody else, and hope you enjoyed this video and have fun with this one. And have to make your own creativity with your own areas there. Okay, have a good day.